Hello again. Today is ANZAC Day in Australia, and that's an acronym for, let's see, what does it stand for? Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. So it's a little bit like our Memorial Day back home.
We think.
At least we think.
Right. This is what we've gathered from Wikipedia and talking to people.
Right. And so it originally started as kind of a World War I vet kind of thing,
Right, yeah.
Specifically, but it's kind of branched out so that it's a celebration to honor all of the people who have served in all of their wars, specifically those who have suffered and died. And so it's a really big deal here, even more so, I think, than Memorial Day back home.
It seems like it. Like, it's huge. Obviously, I mean, like, you got the day off from work and...
Right. It seems like a lot of people get the day off work, and there's this big parade that goes down a street that's actually right next to where we live.
And it wasn't just like a parade. It was like a parade from 9 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock. So it was like huge and long.
Right, and just tons and tons of veterans walking down and people playing bagpipes and things like that. And then it goes like to this shrine of remembrance, which is, again, really close to where we're currently staying.
Right, and that place opened, they had like a whole ceremony at sunrise this morning. So like, I think it was like 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning, there was their little ceremony at the Shrine of Remembrance. And then from there, the parade started, and then the parade ended there at like 1 o'clock. And there was just crowds and crowds of people, and everyone was just like cheering as all the veterans and stuff walked by. It was huge.
Right, and we saw guys with bagpipes and cool cars and lots of different kind of military uniforms. And interestingly enough, people from all over that seem to have served that were being honored. So we're not quite sure if they served here or how that works, but
right.
It was definitely lots of different cultures represented. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And it was cool to see, like you said, because there are so many different cultures, like the different uniforms that each culture wore and all that kind of stuff. That was interesting. The Shrine of Remembrance also just, I mean, in and of itself, it's a memorial, kind of like how Anzac Day is like a day celebrating veterans and things like that. The shrine is a memorial to all the fallen soldiers and things. So that
cool.
place is about a 20-minute walk or so from us. So we might even go there one day and check it out when it's a little less busy and crowded, because obviously there was thousands of people there today. So it's cool. We heard the governor of Victoria speak.
Right.
And a couple other people. I'm not entirely sure who they were, but lots of people were
talking,
and there's a big
call
choir.
Him, like the Lord Governor or something cool like
I think it was like the Lord Mayor
That's what
of
it was,
Melbourne.
The Lord Mayor.
And then there was the Governor of Victoria, and then there's just a bunch of other people, like lots of speeches were happening and stuff. So we went there and saw that.
And then we explored the, what was the tree area?
That is the Royal Botanical Garden.
Right.
It's right next to the Shrine of Remembrance. So after we heard some of the speeches for Anzac Day, we went over to the Botanical Gardens and explored a little bit there. There's a lot of like crazy different trees there. Like they all have different textures and they're just weird. They're different than trees we have at home, definitely. I mean, obviously different than trees in the desert because there's not really any of those, but they're just different in general. Like as soon as we got here, I think we saw some of those camouflage trees and we're just like, what are those? Those do not look like trees from here.
And it's always nice because you're in this like seriously metropolitan area with like big buildings and all you see is city for a long time. So it's really nice. It's kind of like Central Park in New York where you just get to see all this green all at once, and
it's
kind of a nice
really
break
big
from
park.
what you're used to.
Yeah, it's good. They have like weird birds here too, because we saw some weird birds in the park. Like there's that really big giant like black and white
and those are everywhere,
bird.
yeah.
And they all make really weird sounds. They're very loud.
And so after that, we were starving because it's like 2 o'clock and we hadn't eaten yet.
Yeah,
we walked.
Hungry. Well, first we had to sit down and think about what we wanted to eat, because I mean, we're in a part of town that we had never actually been to before. Usually we have to cross over the Yarra River and like go to find a place to eat, but this time we stayed on our side of the river to go to the shrine, and then we were in a part of town we'd never been in before, so we had to go and look and see where to eat. So Josh pulled out his phone and started looking everything up.
That's how it works.
And then after we find a place, then we have to pull out the phone and look at the map to see how to get there. So yeah, anyways, continue.
And so then we found this really cool French restaurant, which Kelly had actually pinned on Pinterest back home. So it was pretty cool when we get to try things in person that we had seen back home on the internet. So it was this French place. What was it called? I don't even know.
I think it's Chez Dre. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure. Took French classes, didn't really pay off, so that's my guess.
it was kind of down this little alley, and there are a lot of places like that here that are like, they're really hard to find. When they're
Right.
the good places, they're hard to find. Some of them don't have signs out front. This one actually did have a sign, which was
Right.
nice.
But that's what everyone here tells us. Like, when we ask them what to do, they basically say eat food. And then when we ask them where to eat food, they say just go down an alleyway. Like,
Right.
you're just supposed to search down alleyways, and there's all different, like, I don't know, bars and restaurants and things that are supposed to be awesome. And this was one of them.
Yeah, and it was delicious. It was just the best food I've had since I've here.
Right.
I've been here.
Delicious, buttery French
Yeah.
goodness. What did you eat?
I had a croque monsieur.
Which you have had before in
Right.
France.
I've had that in Paris. The one in Paris was a little bit
Because
better.
we're fancy. Not really, but a little bit. Well, the one in, I mean, you would assume the one in Paris would be a little bit better just because it's like
It's
legit
true.
French, but
But the dessert at this place was pretty dang amazing.
yeah, that was really, really good. I don't even remember. I got some kind of a chocolate tart thing that was lovely. Had a little like gold leaf on top of it, which
Right.
was nice. And you got, what did you get? I don't even know.
Some pile of chocolate that was amazing.
It was like dark
Creamy
chocolate and
goodness.
white chocolate and milk chocolate, like all.
Lots of chocolate. So
It was really good. We couldn't finish. We kind of ended up sharing each other's, but it was too rich.
the people at the table next to us were drooling over it. We were
The
just
people-
like, that was so good.
Yes, the people at the table next to us, one, made sure we Instagrammed them before we ate them, and then two, just kind of continued to stare at us the whole time we were eating. So that was lovely. I tried to like enjoy this chocolate that I just kind of like wanted to shove in my face, but then people like 2 inches away from you were like watching you eat. Super awesome. I ate actual food too. I didn't just eat chocolate. I got it was like sourdough toast with like a little cup of, I think it was like a avocado, goat cheese, and like nuts on top of it. And it was you spread it over the toast. I don't know. It was delicious. It was very good. And of course the toast was covered in like pounds and butter and yumminess.
Delicious.
So that was really good. But yeah.
So that's about it. That's our ANZAC Day in Australia. It's a really cool holiday. We really like when we get to see some sort of local traditions and things like that. We visited the Queen Victoria Market earlier. As we said, that was kind of a local thing, and this was definitely a big Australian sort of holiday.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to be able to experience that.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we could hear I could still look out the window now and see all of the
Right.
festivities going on, so it's not
Yeah.
even over close
There's
to.
still tons of people.
But I mean, we've been hearing bagpipes and marching drums and everything since 9 o'clock this morning. Like, the parade's just been going on, and everyone's celebrating. So it's really cool to be here on a holiday. I think that was kind of nice timing for us.
Yeah.
But
All right, so that's ANZAC Day. We'll see you later.
bye, guys. Video.